In 1986, Crocodile Dundee conquered box offices worldwide. Today, we reveal what happened to the cast who brought this Australian adventure to life. First up, the man himself, Paul Hogan, who was 46 when he created the iconic role of Mick Crocodile Dundee. Now 85, Hogan's journey from Sydney Harbour Bridge rigger to global superstar remains one of Hollywood's most unlikely success stories. After the original film's massive success, Hogan starred in 2 sequels, though neither matched the cultural impact of the first. His personal life made headlines when he married his co-star Linda Kozlowski in 1990, after divorcing his first wife, Noeline Edwards, in an expensive and highly publicized split. The Hogan-Kozlowski marriage lasted until 2014, when they divorced, citing irreconcilable differences. In the last decade, Hogan faced serious tax troubles with the Australian Taxation Office, with a well-publicized legal battle that was eventually settled. Health issues have slowed him down in recent years, and during the pandemic, he expressed homesickness while stuck in Los Angeles, saying he wished to return to Australia to live out his final years. Despite these challenges, Hogan maintained his sense of humor, releasing his autobiography, The Tap-Dancing Knife Thrower, in 2020, and occasionally appearing in documentaries about his life and career. Though he largely retired from acting, Hogan's creation of Dundee permanently cemented his place in cinema history as the man who brought Australian culture to global audiences. At number 2, we remember John Meilan, who played Walter Riley, Dundee's business partner, and the man who helps orchestrate the newspaper story that brings Mick to America. At 52 during filming, Meilan was already a beloved figure in Australian entertainment. Sadly, his story had a tragic ending when he passed away from cirrhosis in 1989 at just 55, shortly after appearing in Crocodile Dundee 2. And before the Dundee films introduced him to international audiences, Meilan had built a distinguished 4-decade career in Australian cinema, with memorable roles in films like The Cars That Ate Paris and Wake in Fright. His distinctive voice also made him famous as the narrator for numerous commercials, including the iconic Victoria Bitter Beer advertisements that became part of Australian cultural identity. In recognition of his extraordinary contribution to Australian entertainment, Meilan was awarded the Order of the British Empire in 1979. His legacy lives on with a pub in Sydney named in his honour, ensuring this essential figure in Australian cinema history is remembered by future generations. For many international viewers, Walter Riley remains their introduction to one of Australia's finest character actors. Number 3 brings us to David Gulpilil, who was 33 when he portrayed Neville Bell, the tribal man with mystical abilities, who warned Sue about her journey with Dundee. Gulpilil's passing in 2021, at age 68 from lung cancer, marked the end of a pioneering career that opened doors for Indigenous performers in Australia. His role in Crocodile Dundee brought authentic Aboriginal representation to international audiences, though it was just one highlight in a 5-decade career that included acclaimed performances in Walkabout, Rabbit-Proof Fence, The Proposition, and Charlie's Country, for which he won an Australian Academy Award for Best Actor in 2014. Gulpilil's life was defined by the challenge of navigating between traditional Aboriginal culture and Western society, a journey that wasn't always smooth. He faced personal struggles with alcoholism and legal troubles, including time in prison for domestic violence. In his later years, he returned to his traditional homeland, in Arnhem Land, reconnecting with his cultural roots. Despite these personal challenges, Gulpilil's artistic legacy is profound, and in 2019 he was honored with the National Aborigines and Islanders Day Observance Committee Lifetime Achievement Award for his groundbreaking contributions to Australian cinema and Indigenous representation. On our list is Mark Bloom, who at 36 played Richard Mason, Sue's self-centered boyfriend, an editor whose dismissive attitude toward Mick ultimately cost him his relationship. Bloom's life was cut short in March 2020 at the age of 70, becoming one of the early victims of the COVID-19 pandemic that shocked the entertainment world. After Crocodile Dundee introduced him to global audiences, Bloom built a respected career, primarily in television and theater, appearing in popular shows like Law & Order, The Good Fight, Mozart in the Jungle, You, and Succession. A dedicated stage actor, Bloom was a fixture at Playwrights Horizons and on Broadway while also serving on the Screen Actors Guild Board advocating for actors' rights. His sudden death prompted tributes from across the entertainment industry, with colleagues remembering his professionalism, kindness, and dedication to his craft. Though his name might not be instantly recognizable to casual moviegoers, his face and performances brought depth to dozens of productions over his 40-year career. Number 5 features Reginald VelJohnson, who, at 40, had a small but memorable role as Gus, a limo driver in New York who becomes fascinated with Mick's larger-than-life persona. Now 79, VelJohnson's career took off in spectacular fashion shortly after Crocodile Dundee, landing his signature role as family man and police officer Carl Winslow in the hit sitcom Family Matters, which ran for 9 seasons and made him a fixture in American households. He also became known for playing police officer Al Powell in the first 2 Die Hard films, establishing himself as one of Hollywood's most recognizable and beloved authority figures. Though VelJohnson never married or had children, he often speaks about how playing a father figure on television for so many years gave him a special connection with young fans who grew up watching him. In recent years, he's continued acting with guest appearances on shows like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and voice work in animated series. His brief appearance in the Dundee franchise represents an important stepping stone in a career that would make him a household name in American television, proving that sometimes even small roles can lead to extraordinary opportunities. Coming in at number 6 is Steve Rackman, who was approximately 30 when he played Donk, the intimidating bartender who challenges Mick to a game of cricket with brass knuckles. Now around 70, Rackman took one of the most unusual post-Hollywood paths of any cast member. After appearing in all 3 Dundee films, the former professional wrestler known as Crusher Rackman left the entertainment industry entirely to become a successful gym owner in Australia. Leveraging his fame and fitness expertise, he built a chain of gyms in Sydney that thrived for decades. Unlike many who chase prolonged fame after a taste of Hollywood success, Rackman maintained an extremely low profile, rarely giving interviews or discussing his brief but memorable acting career. His business acumen proved as strong as his famous muscles, and his story represents a distinctly Australian tale of reinvention and entrepreneurship, proving there's life beyond the fleeting spotlight of movie fame. At number 7, Michael Lombard played Sam Charlton, the newspaper editor and Sue's father, who sends her on the assignment to Australia that changes her life. At 38, during filming, Lombard brought a distinguished presence to this supporting role. Now 77, he continued his career primarily in television and theater after Crocodile Dundee, with appearances in shows like Law & Order, The Sopranos, and various TV movies. He maintained a steady presence in the entertainment industry while keeping a relatively low public profile. A respected character actor, Lombard's role in Crocodile Dundee remains one of his most widely recognized performances, though his stage work earned him significant respect within the theater community. His career represents the backbone of the entertainment industry, the reliable, talented actors who may never become household names, but whose consistent performances enrich countless productions across decades of work. Number 8 on our list is Linda Kozlowski, who was just 28 when she played New York journalist Sue Charlton, whose assignment to interview a crocodile hunter led to romance both on and off screen. Now 67, Kozlowski's post-Dundee life took unexpected turns. Despite the franchise's success launching her to fame, she became increasingly frustrated with Hollywood's typecasting, feeling the roles offered didn't showcase her full range as an actress. After marrying co-star Paul Hogan in 1990, she appeared in the Dundee sequels, but gradually stepped away from the entertainment industry, with her last film being the 2001 third installment. Following her divorce from Hogan in 2014 after 24 years of marriage, Kozlowski completely reinvented herself. She entered the real estate business in Morocco and later co-founded a tourism company with her new partner, Moulay Hafid Baba. In rare interviews, she has expressed no regrets about leaving Hollywood behind, saying the decision to walk away from acting was the best choice for her happiness and well-being. Her story represents an inspiring second act, from a Hollywood star to a successful entrepreneur embracing a completely different lifestyle, far from the cameras and spotlights. Rounding out our list at number 9 is Nancy Mette, who at approximately 30 played Carla, one of Sue's friends who became enamored with Mick during his adventures in New York City. Now 69, Mehta has maintained perhaps the lowest profile of the Crocodile Dundee cast. After a few more film and television appearances in the late 1980s and early 1990s, including Big with Tom Hanks, she gradually stepped away from acting and essentially disappeared from the public eye. Unlike many in the cast who leveraged their Dundee exposure into continued entertainment careers, Mehta chose a different path entirely, making her post-Dundee life one of the franchise's bigger mysteries. Her brief but charming role in the film represents a common Hollywood story. Performers who touch the peak of commercial success briefly before choosing different paths away from the spotlight, valuing privacy over continued public exposure. And there you have it.